texting me alpha male memes. Just hard times make hard men. Hard men make good times. Good times make soft men. A society will never value its men until the wolves are at the door.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Hasan Minhaj and Mehdi Hasan going in on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is the leader of Man Babies, and they're just going in on it. I'm giving my commentary as well. Let's watch.
Journalists are talking about now. There's a moment where you identify what's become a very big talking point since the election, which is the manosphere, the Rogan verse, the men who listen to podcasts. Let's have a watch.
I'm part of a generation of men that don't read, but listen to podcasts. Terrifying. All my homies out here texting me alpha male memes. Just hard times make hard men. Hard men make good times. Good times make soft men. A society will never value its men until the wolves are at the door. I'm like, Sanjay, you're a software engineer. Shut the fuck up. Why are you texting me like you're Julius Caesar? Whatever, bro.
Now, this was filmed, remember, July.
Yes.
Right? The day of Donald Trump's attempted assassination attempt that you weren't at.
Yes.
All the commentary since the election has been, should Kamala Harris have done Joe Rogan? Do Democrats have a Joe Rogan? The podcast, the manosphere. How do we get young men away from right-wing influencers on YouTube? And I feel like you were calling that out there. Is that something you saw happening in your own circles? I mean, I know you make a joke about Sanjay, but did you see that? Wow, some of my people of my generation friends are going right-wing, if I can use that phrase.
I don't know if it's...
yeah, how would you describe it? Use your words.
The thing that I don't want to do is, again, diagnose something that I didn't see who they voted for. So I can't tell you what their partisanship is. So let's be careful there. Be like, hey, saying Sanjay is voting this way. Like, I don't want to say that at large, because I still, even on my Du Bois group thread, I don't know who they voted for. We talk about basketball, we talk about politics, we talk about life.
Off limits?
We talk about,
nobody asked the question.
They just.
You need to add me to the chat. I'll get the answer from everyone.
You'll get it out of them. But what I'm commenting on is the short form YouTube short TikTokification of, pseudo intellectualism,
which is heavily right wing. Right, like there's a Pew poll that just came out, Pew study, that there are more right-wing influencers on every social media platform with the exception of TikTok. And you look at the big.
And while Hasan Minhaj, he's making a good point. He's saying you don't know which way they lean, whether they lean conservative or liberal, but at the same time, you do. You know who these guys are. You know who these guys are watching, the ones that he's describing, the ones that are watching the Sigma male edits. I mean, Andrew Tate is best friends with Donald Trump Jr. They're like, they just got pardoned off. Both the Tate brothers got pardoned. They got allowed by Trump to, they completely, we see where the quote unquote bro media is leaning. Like if your friend doesn't necessarily even watch Joe Rogan, he's getting news that has been trickled down from this just like conveyor belt of stupidity.
Names online who Tucker Carlson's now on YouTube, Charlie Kirk, Theo Von, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan endorsed Trump, of course, this time around. Although about 8 years ago he was Bernie. Yeah. And Trump did very well with 18 to 29-year-old men in a way that people didn't think the Republicans, there's this thing, young people are all progressives. Turns out not necessarily.
Think this is where we got to zoom out. I know this is dropping on Monday, but just zoom out. This is what it is. And this is both like a spiritual practice and an artistic practice, which is, by the way, have you ever had this author? I'm trying to meet him. There's a very beautiful book called Islam in the Black America by Dr. Sherman Jackson.
I know Sherman Jackson. It's a great guy.
Please introduce me to him.
I will, straight after this show.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, he's Californian.
He's an amazing writer. But one of the things that I love about his Islamic approach as a Black Muslim is specifically in the way in which Black Muslims had to grapple with the realities of society in the period of time they were living in, despite the incredible challenges that they as a community had to live through. Dr. Sherman Jackson articulates this incredibly beautifully. And he talks about it in different periods of time that Black America had to, and Black Muslim America had to kind of grapple with the realities of the time. That's what we have to do as artists. That's what the conversation around politics. Should you have done this podcast? Should you have not have done this? This is the state of the world. You have to engage with the population and the populace where they are. It's why you go on Piers Morgan. If you go on Piers, dude, that place is fucking crazy.
But it's a big platform, and I reach people.
And I'll see a photo of you and Wajahat, like on this. It'll be like, Mehdi Hasan defends the religion of Islam. And you're like, and I'm like, how did this guy who went to Oxford be part of this insane YouTube thumbnail? And your argument to me would be, I'm trying to engage with the world where it is. So
what I find
can't-
really interesting is for a guy who's not on social media, you follow a lot of my stuff on social media.
Of course.
Mashallah.
You're a huge star on Muslim WhatsApp. you're
Not bigger than you.
you're Michael. You are Michael Jordan for
Look,
Desi Dabs.
I get the engaging, but take a step back. What if the people who are engaging are getting, I don't want to use I'm not going to use the phrase brainwashed, but are getting influenced, right? We call them influencers for a reason. Are we seeing a trend of young men being influenced by the Joe Rogans and the Theo Vons and all these people online?
Yeah, perfect. No, I completely agree with what Hassan Minhaj is saying right here. Yes, you do have to meet your audience where they're at. The only thing is that with this audience that quote unquote, the Elon Musk fanboys, the only way to get across to them is by, Hitler memes at this point, talking about, Donald Trump's granddaughter. I believe there's something even on Twitter right now. They have a countdown of when it's just whenever she turns 18. It's disgusting. So like, where do you meet these people at? Where do you go? What subjects can you talk to them about where they will have the same type of conversations as you would?
In a way that actually makes them less, the progressive destiny. The young people will all be progressive and they're not.
Yeah, I just don't speak in generalizations. Like I can't. The only thing I know is if I ask somebody, did you vote for someone based on a podcast appearance? Everybody that I ask.
Forget voting.
Or did you?
For example, when I meet people, I meet people and I talk to them about politics, culture, because I'm such a nerd and I'm such an anorak, and because I immersed myself in this world probably too much. I can tell, it's a party trick. I can tell if somebody says something where they heard it. I could say, you watched that show, you heard that podcast, you watched that. That's like, everyone wants to say they're really original thinkers, but most people are just passing off stuff they read online, saw online. So if right-wingers are controlling a big chunk of the mediums that most young people are using, that's going to influence parts of the population.
So for me, I think it's just, I somewhat agree with what you're saying, but I just think it's an amalgamation of people's experiences. When I'm talking about I'm talking about the 7, 8 friends that I grew up with that I've known since literally elementary school. When you talk about their bank account, their career, where they currently live, who they're married. I mean, let's get very real. Who their spouse is, the school that their kids go to, the circle of friends they now have in adult life. Now we're at 6 variables, man. I haven't even gotten to podcasting. I'm telling you, get off the phone. It's frying your brain. I'm telling you this, Mehdi.
Dude, you're the one who did a bit on your show about podcasts.
No. My critique of them is don't just live on TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
Have the ability to read full books.
Agreed.
Remember the top of the bit. I'm part of a generation of men that listen to podcasts or just are on social media, but don't.
And as you've just pointed out, you read books. You read Sherman Jackson.
Yeah, and that's just
Nassim Taleb.
Try to seek a deeper understanding of the issues through, and reading is a way to do that because you can't do it at 2x or 4x. You have to actually read the stuff.
You're also doing very well on YouTube.
What do you want me to say? I feel like you're pushing me to say something. Do you
I'm
want me
not pushing to say anything.
Give me the soundbite you.
Yes, and right here, Hassan Minhaj, you have to where he said it in his comedy bit, but now he doesn't want to actually double down on it, and for good reason. He wants to say what he wants to say, that he thinks that these people are getting stupider and stupider by the day because of what they're watching. And what are they watching? They're watching this alpha male content. Who puts out the alpha male content? Gee, I mean, it doesn't take a freaking genius. But right here, I mean, I guess it's either a small world. He doesn't want to burn that bridge. Maybe he wants to do a podcast one day. Who knows? But it's obvious that he wants to say it. It's just that he's being a little bit beating around the bush with what he's saying.
You want me to say?
I don't have any soundbite to say. I feel like you're psychoanalyzing me.
Okay, I got you. When you keep digging, I'm like, what do you want me to say?
I was just trying to get to the bottom of. You did the podcast. I thought that was very profound because we're all talking about podcasts. I'm like, damn, Hassan nailed not just the brown folks going to Trump. He got the podcast influence. Now you're saying you don't think that's fine. I was just checking what influence you think it has.
But
also I noticed that you're on YouTube, and I do find a lot of creators now. I was wondering, is that a conscious decision to try and get in the place? You were a guy who was on
legacy media,
if we can call it. So was I. And now we're very much in podcast world.
Social
People
media,
are going to watch this on YouTube. They're going to watch it on Substack. They're going to watch clips on Instagram.
Right.
You're on YouTube now. How are you finding that?
I think it's great.
So there we have it, you guys. Joe Rogan is out here misleading the youth. Everybody can see it. It's very, very clear. You got a lot of these IT dudes thinking that they're about to go bow hunting now. I'm pretty sure they invested in some human growth hormone to mix into their oatmeal. Yeah, it's just, it's the world is going completely fucking insane. And, we can obviously see that it's not going to get any better. It's literally only going to get more chaotic. You have guys that won't talk to you one bit about politics, but they will go on probably about 3 hours about a sauna that they saw. Let me know what you guys think on this. It's another day in the progressive way.